And I'm going to start with the presentation for today. It's called the Untethered Classroom, Unlocking Learning Beyond Boundaries. So when you go to the hotspot and you see the slideshow that's in there, pull it up, and there's a link on here that might be important to you. One is the Apple Tech Skills Checklist with video instructions. When you click on that link, it will open up a checklist for you. And let me see if I can find it so I can show you what it looks like. Actually, this is how you search on Drive, by the way. Here we go. All right, so what this is an Apple Tech Skills, just a checklist. And it is how to turn the iPad on and off and how to wake it up and all these different skills that will set you up for success when using the iPad. Now, I'm going to go over as much as I can today. Some of these things just aren't physically possible for me to do, but you'll see that we put in different options. So if you tap on the little where it says not started and the little drop down, it says not started, practicing, or proficient. This is something for you to keep up with yourself, just you. So you'll get a copy of this. You'll be able to use it however you like. And this will help you to check off and make sure that you have the skills necessary to be able to use an iPad and the Apple TV and the pencil in your classroom successfully. All right. So the untethered classroom. The reason why we are doing an untethered classroom is really to increase our teaching and instructional practices. Now, we all know that physical proximity to a student is ideal, and that helps them with engagement and learning in a way that if you are sitting at your desktop presenting, kids that are across the room have a difficult time being able to be engaged in everything. But if you're moving around on the mobile desk that we gave you and using the iPad to do all kinds of different things, you really are going to get that engagement piece to be able to increase along with student learning. And this is a list of resources that we have for you. Please refer to them so that you can practice at the end of this training, because all of this takes practice. You're not going to go through this training and be like, oh, now I'm an expert. No, none of us are experts. We just are practicing. And if you see that we might be good at something, it's because we've practiced it over and over and over. All right. Apples in the Classroom. Such a cute title. I love that Clara made that up. I love it. Apples in the Classroom. So let's start with the iPads. You should have your iPad, the USB-C charger, case and keyboard with a trackpad, the Apple Pencil. It is a first generation, and it came with adapters. So Plano ISD does own and manage these devices. You can sign in to the iPad with your PISD credentials, but don't do it with your personal. And we'll get into that a little bit later on of why. If you lose or damage any of the little pieces and parts that came with the iPad, then definitely contact your campus CTA. They'll create a help desk ticket and get that replaced for you. Now, try to do the best job possible of keeping up with these little doodads and adapters and different things that you got, because getting replacement might take a long while, and you do need these things in order to use the iPad. Okay. I'm sure you've noticed by now that the App Store is not a thing. Instead of the App Store, which is just a free-for-all, we have something called self-service, or JAMF, and it is a curated, district-approved database, basically, of apps that you can use in a district. And the way that you install apps on the iPad is you're going to be using self-service. The app looks like that. I just zoomed on in there. And I'm going to show you right now how to use it. So self-service, on mine, it's on the top row. On your iPad, it might be on the first or second page. You might need to swipe. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my finger and I am swiping left and right across the screen in order to get to different pages. Now on mine, it's on my first page on the top row. It's called self-service. I'm going to tap on that. And if this is your first time opening up self-service, then you might need to let it just sit for a while and kind of marinate in order to populate everything. So yours might not look like this when you first tap on it, and that's just because it's your first time. And so it takes a little bit to populate all the different apps. But once everything has populated, on the left side, you'll see search. And so if you tap on search, you'll see a search bar in the middle. And there are two apps that we have found may or may not be on your iPad. The first one is Google Chrome. So I'm going to type in Chrome. And I already have mine installed, but there are three different things you'll see on here. You'll either see reinstall, which means you already have it. You'll see install, which means you need to tap the word install and install it. Or you're going to see update. And if you need to update, you need to tap that too. So if you see install or you see update, you tap those two things and you should be good to go. The other app that you want to make sure that you have is YouTube. So I started typing in U, and the one that you want is the one that says YouTube : watch, listen, stream. If you see reinstall, that means you have it. If you see install, you need to tap install and install it. If you see update, you need to update it. So that's how you use self-service. You can also browse on the left-hand side. You'll see different categories. And you can browse all kinds of different ones if you don't want to just search. There you go. Khan Academy, all kinds of things. But that's how you use self-service. And I'm going to get back to my main page. And the way I do that is I take my finger and at the bottom black bar, the little frame, I start there and then I swipe up. And now I'm able to get to my homepage. Next, I'm going to open up my slides. So that's in the middle here. And get back to the. So you can also request apps. And the way that you would do that, free apps that you can request, is you use the iPad request form, which is accessible via a tile on the web desk. So you'll see iPad app request as the app on the web desk. You tap that, and then you'll have to enter in some information, like a link to it and to the app, and also maybe some information along with an asset tag number. The asset tag number is on the white sticker on your iPad. As far as device updates go, every once in a while, Apple will send out an update, and everyone's going to have their iPads updated. We have them set to have automatic updates. So it would happen, in the evening while it's charging or whatever it is. But from time to time, you'll see it during the day, or maybe you want to push it out yourself. iPad updates are restricted to after 2:45 on elementary campuses and 3:30 on secondary campuses, so as not to disturb the school day too much. All right. The apps that are already included are the Apple for Education suite of tools, Web Desk, Google Classroom, Meet, and Zoom. A quick note about Web Desk. On your iPad, you will not see the term Web Desk on there. what you're going to see is ClassLink. ClassLink is WebDesk. So if you see the ClassLink tab, that means, oh, there's my WebDesk. And you would authenticate through Google like you normally do. All right. Recommended apps are Google Drive, Chrome, Microsoft Teams, Outlook, Google, Microsoft Apps, and etc. There is a full list on the iPad resource page on the hotspot of some other apps that are recommended as well. Now, what if you have a personal account? Don't sign in with your personal accounts. PISD will be able to view all of your personal content, and even better than that, your students would be able to see. Let's say that you had some pictures of your last trip or whatever is going on. If you have your personal credentials on the iPad, it might be pulled up into the photos. And I'm sure that's not everything that you want your students to see. So let's just keep things private and do not sign in with your personal account. All right, apples in the classroom, the Apple Pencil. This thing is so cool, y'all. I love the Apple Pencil. So how does it connect? Well, you can use Bluetooth to connect the pencil. So mine happens to be connected already. But if you go to settings and then you go to Bluetooth, you can see that mine is already connected. But if that says not connected, that means you need to connect it. So you can either tap on it from here, see if it'll connect. If it doesn't, then you're going to have to do it manually. So let me show you how to do that real quick. Okay, so that means I have to stop this. There we go. All right, so here is your Apple Pencil. On the top of the Apple Pencil, you can pop off the top, right? So that you see the lightning end. This is the lightning charger. And you receive this handy dandy thing in your packet here with your Apple Pencil. It comes with an extra tip along with 2 adapters. So you're going to use the larger adapter in order to connect your Apple Pencil. So I'm going to, from the back here, I'm going to take it out. Let me show you how to do this. Now, these are really little bitty pieces, you guys. So we suggest you come up with some sort of system to be able to keep up with all these little parts like the cap and the adapters and the tip and all this other kind of stuff. You're going to need to have some kind of a bag you put it in. You can still keep it in here because obviously I'm keeping it in here. I think Leah does too, in the little packet. But just make sure you keep up with everything because you're going to need it. All right, so I took off the cap. Here's the larger adapter. And so I have to attach one side to the pencil here, and then the other, I'm going to attach the cord. So the power cord that came with your iPad, one end of it, you're going to put it on the other side of the adapter and click it right in there. So now this is all attached. The other side is going to go into the side of your keyboard. So on the bottom right-hand side, there's a place to put in the USB-C connection on your keyboard. So once you plug everything in and you just wait for a little bit, you will see a message that says, do you want to pair your Apple Pencil? Yes, you do. Pair. So that's what you would tap. You would tap pair. And once you paired it, then you have the ability to just take everything out, put everything back. And I am being very organized with it because the last thing I want to do is lose any pieces at all whatsoever. Once you unplug the Apple Pencil, and put everything back, you're going to get a message on your screen that says, welcome to Apple Pencil, and you continue through and do all kinds of things like that. And once you follow the instructions, then you're going to be able to use your pencil with your iPad, and it is paired. So you can see on my battery widget on the upper left-hand side, you can see both my iPad as well as the percentage left on my battery. And that's going to be really important, and I'm going to tell you why. So the way that the pencil charges is you charge it using the adapter thing that I just showed you. And you can charge it either straight to the wall with the brick that was given to you, or you can charge it while it's in the keyboard, however you want to do that. You need to keep up with the battery percentage, because once it goes below 5%, it might become inoperable and it'll just be a pencil that doesn't do anything. That's what happened to my pencil. That's how we found out that's a thing. And Apple confirmed that if it goes below a certain percentage and it stays that way, you will not be able to have that pencil work again. And it takes a long time to get a replacement. So definitely make sure that everything is charged. Now, you are able to store the pencil inside of your case keyboard thing at the top. It does not charge there, so don't think that your battery charges there, because it does not. The only way it charges is with the adapters, and you have to plug it in. Okay, now, Apple TV. So you do have a way to wirelessly mirror an iPad to a projector. So I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. Before that, I'm going to show you something else, but just a second here. So the Apple can, so you see the little black box, that's the Apple TV that sits on top of your projector. And then you have the remote control that's silver. That's how you turn it on. Once you get all your stuff, your curved screen and laptop setup and all the other kind of stuff, you won't be able to have the use of the Elmo or your document camera anymore, pretty much. And so there are some solutions that teachers have come up with. Carrie Smith over at Hahn Elementary came up with a really cool solution on how to use your laptop holder, your laptop stand that comes with your laptop, how to use that as a document camera in case you need it. And as you can see, there's some pictures here as well that Lily put in here, that you can use a locker organizer, or maybe anything that has like just open space on it that you can hold your iPad would also work. Now, the Apple TV cannot stream Netflix or Pandora, but since you have YouTube on your iPad, you can stream that through the Apple TV. So you can show it through the Apple TV, you can mirror it. All right. So I'm going to take this off for just a second and just kind of show you the whole setup and how. All right, so here's a projector, and the Apple TV, as you can see, is on top. That's the black box that's up there. Now, I had to switch this using the remote, the projector remote. I had to switch the source. And the way that you switch the source is there's a source search that's at the top here, top right-hand side, that you press. And when you press it, then you are able to switch the source to be with the Apple TV. Now, the reason why it's a blue screen and not the Apple TV is because I have to turn it on. All right, so here is the Apple TV projector. And notice that if the Apple TV, the projector, the remote control, if the remote control is out of battery space or whatever like that, then you can charge it. So you don't have to go looking for physical batteries or anything. You can just charge it with the charger that came with the iPad. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And the reason I know it's on is because there's a white light that pops on that you see. And on the screen, I can now see AirPlay. So I'm in room F106 at Barksdale. And on your Apple TV, you'll see your room along with your school name. But that's how you know which one that you're going to select. So that's going to be important that I'm going to show you here in just a second. So to mirror your iPad to the Apple TV, you would take your finger on the right side in the border area, the black border, and top right side, and then you would pull down and open up your control center. When you see your control center, you will see an icon that looks like two rectangles on top of each other. All right, that's the mirroring icon. You tap on the mirroring icon. And I'm looking for F106. I don't see it here. So I'm going to click on Show More. And now I do. So I'm going to tap on F106. When I do that, there is a code that shows up on the screen. You can't see it, but there's a code that's on the screen that just showed up on the projector in the classroom. And the code is there for me to type in. So since I'm able to see this, that means all the kids will be able to see it too. We suggest that you do this without kids in the room. That way, they won't be able to see the code and hijack your Apple TV or whatever. So do that without students in the room. Or, if your kids have really great digital citizenship, then it shouldn't be a problem. You just tell them, okay, for academic purposes, this is what we're doing right now. Don't hijack it and just go on from there. But if your community of learners is just not able to handle that, try to do this while they are not in the room. All right, so you see that it's blurry. I just tap on the blurry space 2 times, and then there we go. So now, even though you can't see right now, I am able to, my iPad screen is mirrored through the Apple TV, and you can see it being projected out. Okay. Now I'm going to show you some tips to make your teaching workflow go a little smoother. So these are just a few things just to help you out so that life will be just a little bit easier on you. All right, so I'm going to talk about moving and organizing the apps in the home screen, adding the battery display and brightness, and the control center, which we already talked about, and the multitasking and gestures. Okay, I'm actually going to show you how to install the battery widget that you see on the upper left-hand side of my screen. So the way that I do that, and the reason why I need to do that is because I need to know how much battery is left on this pencil. You can see in the second circle, I'm at 100% right there, but that is how I'm able to tell the battery percentage of the pencil. So in order to install this widget, I would take my finger and then I would hold down on the screen until everything is wiggling and jiggling, all my apps. And then after that, I would press on the plus sign on the upper left-hand side of the screen. And you would see batteries on the left-hand side. So I'm going to go ahead and tap batteries. And I'm going to choose which one of these statuses I want. So there's 1, 2, and 3. I will tell you that most people choose the second one because they seem to like it with the percentages that are in there. But you choose whatever floats your boat, whatever you like. All right, so then after that, you tap on Add Widget. After you added the widget, you'll see it on your screen. Now, while things are jiggling, if you want to move things around, then you would take your finger, tap and hold on whatever you want to move, and you can move it wherever you like and organize your pages this way. If you want to take an app off, you can press on the minus sign and then you could remove it if you wanted to. Okay. When you're done, you can tap on any empty space or tap done on the upper right-hand side. All right, now to show you another tip, if you are teaching and you have to address a student or talk to somebody or do whatever you need to do, and you're coming back to your iPad and you see that everything's been turned off, you got to re-sign into the Apple TV, you got to do all these things. Well, that's because your auto lock is defaulted to 2 minutes. So in order to set it so that you have a lot more time, what you would do is you could open up settings. After you open up settings, then you would go to display and brightness on the left side, and then scroll up until you see auto lock. And like I said, the default is 2 minutes, but you can change it to never. That way you will not have to keep signing in and keep signing in and keep signing in. It would just be up and open. Now it does drain the battery to do that. So if you are taking a break, then you can just turn off your iPad, take a break by pressing the button on the left-hand side, and then open up your iPad again, or you can just close it. That'll also turn off the iPad, and then you can open it back up and it'll turn back on. So you just play with what works for you. All right, the other setting on here that's really a great feature is the multitasking and gestures. If you tap on multitasking and gestures and then scroll on down, swipe finger from corner, if you turn that on, because I have mine on, it's going to be able to do a pretty neat little trick here that I'm going to show you. All right, let's say that I wanted to do some annotations on this page just very quickly, nothing big and formal. I can take my finger and I can start at the bottom left-hand side of the screen, and then I can swipe my finger to the middle, and it'll take a screenshot. And then the markup tools also pop up. I can, from here, zoom in, zoom out. I can annotate, do whatever I want, right? And I can do that without harming the integrity of the presentation. So once I'm done, I can tap on the trash can and then delete the screenshot. Now I'm back in business. So that's a neat little trick there. Let me go ahead and move on. All right, so the new tech in your classroom. This is what the teacher workstation is going to look like if you don't have it like this yet. You'll have the Dell laptop, a metal laptop stand that swivels and tilts, as you can see, an extra keyboard and mouse, and let me tell you why. Because it is pretty awkward if you're sitting here and you're trying to just type on your laptop and stuff like that. Well, that's a little awkward. So we made sure that you have a keyboard and a mouse so that you are able to use that in its proper place. The monitor does not have any brains. There's no brains to this monitor. The brains of the operation is the laptop or whatever device that you have that is plugged into it. If there's nothing plugged into there, nothing's going to happen. So just know that this laptop right here, let me show you where everything's plugged in, right? So there's 3 different cords that are there, your HDMI and to your USB-Cs. This is going to be what you plug things into in order for the monitor to work. If you are absent and a sub comes in and you happen to have your laptop at home, that's okay. There's going to be a procedure at your school. Just ask your CTA what that is. And the sub will have to check out a Chromebook from your school and then attach the HDMI and the cords to the Chromebook, and then they'll be good to go. Okay. Now this monitor is 34 inches. I mean, it is absolutely huge. And the camera is located up here at the top. You would have to tap down on it and let it pop up in order to see the camera, because it might come to you with the camera not popped up. So don't think, oh, mine didn't come with the camera. It does. You just have to tap on it to make it pop up. You can also split this screen in half or even quadrants. And it's really a quick tool to be able to do that, and it's pretty neat. All right. Get rid of that. Okay. You also have the mobile desk, which I'm rolling around on right now. That comes with a cup holder and some slots. You also have a backpack that you were given, and also you will continue to have your Lightspeed microphone so that you can present with a microphone so kids can hear you. Okay, some new tools in the classroom, some new, some not so new, but might be new to you. The student creation tools that we have in place are Canva and Adobe Express. Those are tools that the district has adopted that can be used K through 12. So it's for all students and for all teachers. Now, teachers only have access to Explain Everything and also the interactive content acquisition tool, Pear Deck. So these are two things that are going to be quite useful to you in the classroom for you to be presenting and annotating on your iPad and for student learning. Now, we're going to be getting into all that. But first, I wanted to show you this. We felt as a team that there are two really important skills to have in order to be successful in using the iPads for student learning. One is knowing how to present, and the other one is annotating, right? So we suggest that if you're taking your first time, your first toe dipping into the iPad pool, we suggest that you start with just presenting. So you don't have to do any annotating yet or using your Apple Pencil to annotate. Present. One of the easiest ways to present is by using the Google Slides app. Because let me show you why. First, I'm going to take my finger and I'm going up to the middle of my screen, and then I'm letting go. And then that way I'm able to see all the apps I have open, like right now. So that's another little tip there as well. Okay. So when you tap on Google Slides, the first thing you'll see is just all your slides here in grid format, or you might even see it in list. Depends on how you have it set up. I like to have mine in grid. And a little trick that I have is to, on the upper left-hand side, you should see where it says last opened by me with the little arrow going down. I make sure that when I am going to present something that I have it open on my laptop first, and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to be presenting this and this, because when I open it up on my iPad, whatever was last opened by me, that's what's going to pop up. So it just makes life a little easier, so you're not just trying to search around everywhere looking for your presentation. So once you tap on Google Slides, you will be able to see your presentation, and you can just go through it. You don't have to do any annotating. You don't have to do anything like that, but you can just go through your presentation even without pressing the little present at the top. The next thing to do would be to press present at the top. So if you press the little play button on the top side, and it's kind of hard to see. Oops, there you go. It's going to ask you to present to the external display. So that's what you would do. You're going to be presenting through the Apple TV. And I can't show you because I can't show this and show you my what it looks like in the classroom right now. But in the classroom right now, where it says current, the untethered classroom, that is what's projecting on my screen. At the bottom where it says next, that's just letting me know as a speaker, that's the next slide coming up. Okay. So if I wanted to show my students a video, like there's a video that's in here, so I'm going to tap next, and then I'm going to tap next again. Okay, so there's a video that's in here, and I want to show my kids. On the bottom right, you'll see actions available. And here we go. And it's this link here. And this is what this, so that's what's showing on the screen. When I'm done, I tap done on the upper left-hand side, and then I'm back in business with my slides. If I want to annotate on my slides, I tap the little pin on the upper right-hand side, and then I can annotate however I like. And what I'm drawing on here, that's what I can see. The students will be able to see this on the board. Okay. All right. So that is Google Slides, and that's a little bit advanced, but like I said, start with just presenting. Okay. It's 5:12. Okay. So the next thing that we wanted to show you for the presenting is Pear Deck. You can add the website to Pear Deck to the home screen, and let me show you how to do that. So I've already added to my home screen. Pear Deck is the black tile that's on the bottom row. So when I tap on the Pear Deck app that I made, and I'll show you how to do that, then it opens up my teacher login. So this is what you do. If you go to app.peardeck.com, this is what opens up, the login. And then on the next to the address bar in the upper right-hand side, you'll see the share button. You scroll down and you'll see add to home screen. When you do that, then you're going to add, it looks like an app to the home screen, and it's just a shortcut to the URL. Once you are done, then you can sign in with Google. Go to your launch pad on the left-hand side. Scroll down, open an existing file, and choose whichever file that you need to. Let's see, I think I'll do this one. Select, and then you can present live or present in student pace. So I'm going to choose on present live. There you go. And now this is where my students can, I can be able to share the link. So I can either invite my class. At the bottom, you see the Google Classroom icon. I can click on that, invite my class, or I can give the students a link. I can tap on the link, and then it's copied to my clipboard. I can paste that in GoGuardian. If I go Guardian open, put that in the place to be able to push that URL out to my students. So you do that however you want to, or you can have them go to joinpd.com and they put in this code. Okay. Alrighty, so that is about presenting. Everything else is pretty much within the native app. So Seesaw, Canva, PowerPoint, they all have native apps. It looks very similar to how you would see it on your desktop. So you can go from there. You can also access district resources through the ClassLink app, which is Webdesk. So if you need to present anything that's a district resource, go through the ClassLink app, and then you can be able to present from there as well. All right, annotating. So when you annotate, you can just do so much more. And I'm going to show you just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to explain everything. We're going to have an explain everything class that goes into more detail about how to do everything that I'm going to show you, and more. But just to give you a little bit of a taste about that. So explain everything. It looks like a little purple curly Q. I have it in my third row here. I'm going to tap on it to open it up. Oops, there we go. Tap on sign in with Google and use your PISD credentials. Once you have answered all the questions and accepted everything, then you get to a page that looks like this. So I'm going to show you just a few things that you can do. I'm going to tap on new and blank canvas. And you should see where it says switch to second screen mode. Right now, what students can see is my entire menu that has all my icons and everything on it. But if I tap switch to second screen mode, it's just a white paper. That's it. There's nothing else on there but the actual paper. And so that when I scribble on it and do whatever I'm going to do, the kids just see the writing. They don't see any of my my menu items at all. Okay. And I'm going to switch this to, this is an infinite whiteboard. So if I make any lines on here or I draw anything, I can just scroll it up and keep on going. Or I can add another page. On the bottom right hand side, you see the plus sign. I can add a page if I want to. And that's also infinite that I can do. Now, if I wanted to make this be lined paper, for example, or even a grid, I can, in fact, I'm going to do grid this time. But if you see where it says 2 out of 2, if I press that up, and then I tap on the middle icon that has diagonal lines in it, where it says pattern at the bottom, I tap that and I can choose lines right there. I can choose a grid. And I can make it be a different color if I want to, which is kind of cool. Alrighty. Then I'm going to click tap done on the upper right hand side. I'm just going to apply it to the current slide. But now you can see I have my grid, right? So I can put in, make graphs, do whatever. Yeah, whatever. That doesn't make sense, but so you can do whatever you want to with line paper or with grids, or however you want your background to be. Oops. Something else that you can do, which is really great, is to scan either student work or whatever you need to scan and then annotate on top of it. So let me show you how that works. On the left side at the top, there is a little icon. Let me pull this down a bit. And it has like 2 pieces of paper and a plus sign in it. That's the insert icon. I'm going to scroll horizontally, and then I am going to choose scan. So now I'm going to scan this document. It took a picture automatically. All I did was just hold it up so that the scanning automatically found the dimensions. That way I don't have to worry about trying to adjust anything. It did it automatically. And I am able to either put this in grid format, stacked, horizontal, vertical, or separate slides if I want to. And then I'm going to insert it. There we go. So now that it's inserted in there, I have the ability to zoom in, zoom out. I can annotate on top of it, do whatever I need to do. It's a weird highlight. There we go. And then move it to the side if I wanted to, and do some other things. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this. Now let me show you very quickly how to take a Google slide. So let's say that I wanted to, I'm gonna take this one. So if I wanted to take this slide, I'm like, you know what? I'm presenting and explain everything. That way I can annotate and do whatever I want to do. You would tap on the three dots on the upper right-hand side and then share and export. And then send a copy. Make sure the check mark is next to PDF and tap OK. And so it's going to prepare the PDF. Once it does that, this window pops up. I'm going to scroll to the right. You might see Explain Everything right here is one of the apps, but I have to tap on More and then scroll down. And then I see Explain Everything here at the bottom. I'm going to have this be inserted as separate slides because that will make my life easier. And then I tap Insert. So now my Google slide is in here. And I can annotate and do whatever I want. Let's see, right? There we go. So that's a really cool, nifty trick that you can do as well. And you can go through your presentation by pressing the arrows on the bottom right. All right. Now, another thing I want you to notice at the bottom is the ability to record. So if you're doing direct teaching, you can press the record button, record what you're doing. And after you record, and it records not only the screen, but things that you are saying, when you are done, you press stop. And then it will actually record your voice. Now you can't hear it here because I'm in the Zoom call, but it will record. That way if kids are missing, they're absent, or whatever is going on, you can do the recording. And then on the upper right-hand side, you can share, export, and export it as a video. You have the ability to rename it. And I'm going to type this, or I'm going to write this with my Apple Pencil, and I want you to see what happens. It just turned my handwriting into typed text, which is kind of cool. All right, then save, export. So after it prepares the project to be exported, this window pops up and you can put it straight into your Google Classroom. So you see the little icon there. All righty, that is what we had for you guys today. We wanted to open things up for questions. Little thing, somebody made a comment that said, I'm going to really have to practice it. Yes. I'm going to repeat that again. You will need to practice these things. And so that checklist should be a good place to start. And then we're going to have this video available for you at a later time so that you can really go through, and you can always go in the hotspot. We have bukus of information on there. Leah does such a great job with organizing and curating everything for y'all. And please take advantage of the hotspot.